Today we will be doing from line 190 to 260, and this video will help you to understand that the Tempest that was raised in Act 1, Scene 1 was created by Ariel under Prospero's command. We will also get to know the character of Ariel. Okay, we'll be able to delineate Ariel's character. We get to know that Ariel is the master spirit. He is the ears and hands of Prospero. He's the mouth and ears of Prospero. And we also get to know that it is Ariel who executes most of Prospero's plans. Okay, and then one of the most recurrent theme in the Tempest is colonization. Okay, so when there is colonization, there is master and slave. So that the theme of colonization or the master and slave relationship can also be inferred from the scene. And the other one is Ariel makes his appearance in the play from line 190. All right, so we all know that Prospero has put his daughter to sleep by casting a magic spell upon her. Okay, and in the meantime, we find that Ariel is waiting for Prospero to attend him. Ariel is a spirit of air. He can assume the form of wind, water, thunder, and lightning. So he's waiting. So when he comes, he says, "All hail, great master, great sir, hail." I mean, greetings to you, my dear master, greetings. I come to answer thy blessed pleasure. That means I have come to carry out your commands. Okay, please give me the work. Okay, please let me perform the work which you feel is the best for me. Okay, which you feel I am best at. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curved clouds. Means you either let me fly. Okay, you can give me to swim. You can give me to enter the fire. Okay, you can ask me to enter the fire, or whether it be scattering the clouds. To thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all his quality, he says, make you employ Ariel and all the subordinate spirits to carry out your more complicated task. Prospero, hast thou spirit performed to the point the tempest that I bade thee? Prospero asks if Ariel has carried out the tempest in details, okay, according to his instruction. So Ariel replies, to every article. That means I have performed the tempest in the minutest detail, in the smallest detail. I boarded the Kingship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin. I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. So he tells us how he burned the ship. Okay, so he gives us the details. In fact, he's telling Prospero of how he performed his work. Okay, as it is, we know that Ariel is very eager. Okay, he is very enthusiastic, and he's very pleased to serve Prospero. He is a spirit who wants Prospero's approval. Okay, after he has performed any task which was given by Prospero. So he says that, first I boarded the Kingship, then after I went to the beak, that is the front portion of the ship, and then after, where did he go? He went to the body of the ship, which is called the waist, and then after he went to the deck, and he went to every cabin. Alright, and then what did he do? I flamed amazement, meaning he caused confusion, fear, and suspicion among the passengers by appearing in flames. Okay, so what does he say? For some time I divide and burn in many places. He divided himself into many flames and appeared in several places simultaneously. Alright, otherwise he had taken the shape of fire this time. Okay, that fire he has split up into different flames, and then and he surrounded, or he went to every nook and corner of the ship, and then he burned the ship. Okay, or he terrorized the passengers. Sometimes he went to the on the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit. Okay, these are the places that he went to. Would I flame distantly, then meet and join? He says that then he brought all the flames together, and then he and presented before them. Okay, he appeared before them in single flame. That means as a fire. So Jove's lightning. Jove is Jupiter, the god of thunderbolt. Okay, it is a reference to the classical mythology. Jove was believed to have control over lightning and thunder. All right. So please remember that before the thunder, okay, before the thunderbolts, we have the lightning. Okay, so there is a reference to this also. So, and thunderbolts are generally, it is very terrorizing, it's very fearful, it is very dreadful. All right. So he says, Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. He says that his movement was so swift, it was more fast than Jove's lightning, which appears before the dreadful or before the terrorizing thunderbolt. Understood? And the fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seems to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake. Now, Neptune is the god of sea. Okay, so Neptune is said to have control over the waves. Okay, is said to rule over the waves. So he says that it was, the roaring thunder, the flashes of lightning and the roaring thunder was so intense that it also scared the god of sea. It also scared the mighty sea god Neptune. Okay, who out of fear and confusion, what did he do? He shook the waves and also the trident and his mighty fearful trident. Okay, fearless trident. He went to the extent of even shaking his trident. Trident means it's a pointed, it's a pronged, three-pronged weapon is known as a trident. Okay, Shivji has that trident, if you know what it is. So he says that, it was so scary when I created the lightning and the thunder. It scared even the most mighty god of sea, that is Neptune. And what did he do? He shook the sea waves and also his mighty, fearless, fearful trident. All right, he shook that, meaning to say that now overall what was happening? It was a tempest. Okay, overall it is a tempest. That means there was a storm at sea, because the storm also rose at sea. Okay, and there was lightning and there was thunder. All right. So it is trying to create an atmosphere of danger, trying to create an atmosphere of fear and suspicion. Okay, overall, you could just take it as tempest. Prospero, my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this quiet would not infect his reason? Now he asks if there was anybody in the ship who was not troubled, okay, by this turmoil. He asked if there was any spirit, if there was any soul in the ship who was still composed even after such a turmoil. So Ariel says, not a soul, but felt a fever in mad and played some tricks of desperation. There was not even a soul who was not affected, okay, who was not mentally affected, as in not physically wounded or nothing happened, but he says that every soul who was on board the ship, they were in the fit of madness, okay, and they did not have the guts to play any pranks, okay, or they did not have the guts to play desperate pranks. But all but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. So everybody except for the mariners, they jumped into the sea water, okay, and then escaped the fury of the the fury of the fire that was burning the ship. So he says, then all fire with me. That means when I set the ship on fire, okay, when the ship caught the fire, when I appeared in different flames and I terrorized them, the passengers were helpless. So all that they did was they plunged into the sea. Okay, they jumped into the sea to save themselves from getting burnt. The king's son Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, hell is empty and the devils are here. Right? The first person to plunge into the sea, to come out of the ship was Ferdinand. Who is Ferdinand? Ferdinand is the son of Alonso, the king of Naples. He says that he was so terrified, he was so petrified that even his hair was standing straight, okay, and it did not look like his hair, it looked like a reed. What is a reed? A reed is a tall, slender, leaved plant, okay, of the grass family, which grows in water or in marshy land. Okay, so he says that, his hair also, it stood on end with fear. It was very straight and stiff, okay, and it looked like a reed. And he says that, and out of fear and out of fear and confusion, he cried that, hell is empty. That is what he said. Meaning to say that hell had let loose of all the devils, and now because they were all there. Okay, and then the hell was empty. That is what it is. Because why was the hell empty? Because all the devils or whoever is doing that is there in the ship or is there at the sea. Now Prospero, why? That's my spirit. So he is a very reliable spirit. Please understand that Ariel is a very obedient, very reliable spirit, and then that is why he says, my brave, reliable spirit, you have done an excellent job. But was not this nigh shore? But have you placed them just near the shore? Have you made sure to do this? Ariel, close by, my master. That means quite close to the shore, my master. Prospero. But are they, Ariel, safe? That is most important. Okay. Although Prospero, he is very bent, okay, to seek revenge against his enemies, but he wants to make sure that none of them are affected. All right. He seeks revenge in a very altruistic manner, okay, without causing any harm to any of the passengers. Of course, he makes them, he disturbs their peace of mind. Of course, he makes them, bewildered, okay, amazed, confused, and he makes them scared. But he sees to it that none of them are affected. That is why he is worried and says and asks Ariel if they are all safe. Excuse me. Ariel, not a hair perished. That means nobody is hurt in the slightest. Okay, he has made sure that he has not even affected their hair. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. That means even the clothes that they had worn before the storm is not tainted with any stain. Okay, there is not a tint of stain. Okay, it is not there is not any, it is not wet. Okay, and he has seen that even the clothes are not spoiled. Okay, even these clothes are not stained. In fact, the clothes look even more shiny. It looks even more fresh than they had actually. It actually was before the tempest. Okay, in meaning to say that the clothes now look even more fresh than what it was before the tempest. Okay, even the clothes is not damaged. Okay, there is not even a blemish on their clothes. So, and as thou beatest me, and as you had instructed me, in troops here refers to the passengers, I have dispersed them. That means I have scattered them. And how have they done that? About the eye. I have, now the troop that was there, the passengers that were there, have now been divided, okay, have now been scattered or split up into small groups, okay, and they are brought some close to the island, okay. They're just around the island. That is what it means, okay. They're not together, but then split up into different small groups, and they're very close to the shore, okay. The king's son have I landed by myself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting his arms in his sad knot. In this sad knot. This sad knot means that he's showing it. You know, he's demonstrating it. Okay, sad knot refers to folded arms. He says that, you know, the first person to come out of the ship was Ferdinand. Okay, and I made sure that I landed him by myself. Okay, it was me who did it. Okay, I made sure that he was the first one to land. Okay, and I did it all by myself. I landed him all by myself. What did I do? I kept him in the beautiful on the beautiful part of the island. Okay, I brushed him, or I completely secluded him from his people, and kept him in one corner of the island, okay, where I saw him sitting and then cooling the breath. Cooling the wind means where he was taking long breath, maybe out of exasperation, maybe out of anger, maybe out of confusion, maybe out of fear, okay, maybe out of worry. So all mixed in one as such. Okay, so he says that, and I saw him sitting and cooling the air and taking and sighing, all right, and then with his arms folded like this, he shows also, and he says that I saw him sitting like this and taking long breath out of worry, out of fear, out of anxiety, and out of exasperation. Now, Prospero, of the kingship, the mariners say, how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet. That means he says now, what about the kingship? Where did you keep the kingship? And what about the rest of the ships that had come along with the kingships? That means, remember that it was not just one ship that was coming from Tunis. Okay, there were several other ships that was with this royal ship. So he says, what about the fleet of ship that was following the royal ship? To which he says, Ariel, safely in the harbor. That means the kingship is very safe in the harbor. Is the kingship in the deep nook, where deep nook means in the deep corner. He has hidden it. He has hidden the kingship in the deep corner. Okay, where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudas. Okay, he says that now. Like he tells Prospero that, do you remember the first time that you had called me in the middle of the night to get the dew from the Bermudas, from the very agitated Bermudas, or maybe storm-tossed Bermudas? It is exactly the same place that I have hidden, okay, that I have placed the kingship. Okay, overall, let me sum it up. He says that he has hidden the kingship, okay, close to the Bermudas, okay, close to the agitated, the storm-tossed Bermudas, where Ariel was once called by Prospero in the middle of the night to bring some dew, from the Bermudas. Okay, for who? From Prospero. So this is exactly where he has placed, or where he has hidden the king's ship. So there she is hid. That means I have hidden her there. The mariners all under hatches stood, who with a charm joined to this suffered labor I have left asleep. Stored means packed, okay, it means stored. And he says, and about the mariners, okay, what have I done? I have made sure that they do not escape to the shore, okay, they do not escape the ship and go to the shore. So in order to prevent them from escaping to the shore, I cast a spell on them and put them to sleep below the deck. Okay, and then I also, not just that, I also increase their fatigue. Fatigue means mental and physical exhaustion. Okay, so he by casting a spell upon the mariners, what did he do? He increased the fatigue. Okay, he increased their already they're already very mind and spirit. Okay, he made it, even he intensified it, and he put them to sleep below the deck. Okay, why did he do this? He did this in order to prevent them, stop them from coming out of the ship, in order to stop them from plunging it into the sea, or coming close to the seashore. All right. And for the rest of the fleet. Now, what about the rest of the fleet? He replies, the rest of the fleet which I dispersed, they all have met again and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples. And the rest of this fleet, they are all in the Mediterranean Sea, or in the waters of the Mediterranean Sea, and then going back home, going back to Naples very sadly. Why are they going very sadly? Okay, and this fleet, okay, and the other ships, and the other royal ships were also scattered, that he had scattered in different places. He says that the rest of the fleet which I had scattered in different places have all come together. They are all now in the Mediterranean Sea. And what are they going? They are homeward bound. They are going back very sadly to, they are going back. They're bound sadly home for Naples. That means they're going home to Naples very sadly. Supposing, why are they sad? They are sad because they are supposing, or they supposing that they saw the kingship wrecked and his great person perished, because they believe that the kingship has perished and all the passengers, including the king, are drowned. Prospero, Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. He compliments Ariel for his excellent task, and he says, you have exactly performed the way, exactly performed the way I have asked you to do. Okay, you have performed in the manner that I have asked you to do. But there is more work. What is the time of the day? But there is some more work. This is not just the end. Okay, we have some more work to do. Ariel, past the mid-season. That means it's past noon. Prospero, at least 2 glasses. That means it is 2 o'clock now. The time twixt 6 and 9 must by us both be spent most preciously. He says, the time from now to 6 o'clock is the most important time for us. Okay, and it has to be utilized very properly, and it has to be utilized well. Okay, important work have to be done between this time, between 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay, this is the crucial time for us to complete all the important works. Ariel, is there more toil? He gets confused, and then he says, is there some more work to do, some more labor? Toil means to work hard. When you work hard, you toil, isn't it? To work hard, it's labor. Okay, so is there some more work? Since thou dost give me pains, you give me pains. It means whatever work you employ me in is not an easy task. It gives me a lot of pain. Okay, it is a complicated task that you assign me. So let me remember thee, what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed to me. Underline this, very important. What do we get to know? We get to know that Ariel loves freedom. Ariel loves liberation. Okay, he loves to be liberated from the service of his master Prospero. All right. So he is reminding Prospero he is reminding Prospero of the promise that he had made, of the promise that Prospero had made to Ariel. He says that, is there some more work? Okay, is there some more, to give me some pains, to give me some, to make me more weary? Do we have some more work to perform? Let me remind you, my dear master, that you had promised what you had promised me. Okay, Prospero, how now, moody? What is it thou canst demand? Okay, how is it, moody spirit? What is your demand? Tell me what your demand is. Now, Ariel, my liberty. This is very, very important. Ariel wants liberty, my freedom. All I want, all my demand is my freedom. Prospero, before the time be out, no more. Do not say this, do not ask for it again. Okay, I cannot grant you freedom before the time is over. Ariel, I I request you, okay? I am begging you. Remember, I have done the worthy service. Remember that I have given you good service. Remember that I have worked faithfully or obediently for you. Told thee no lies. This is important. It tells us about it helps us to understand the character of Ariel. Tell thee no lies, made no mistakings. Okay, served without or grudge or grumblings. I have served you without complaining. I have never told you any lies. I have performed your work very diligently. Okay, I have given you good service. I have performed your work most faithfully. So, thou didst promise to bait me a full year. Okay, that means he says that, you had promised to reduce my period of service by 1 year. Prospero, dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee? Have you forgotten how I released you from a torment? Have you forgotten that day? How you were suffering, okay? How tormented you were when I first came to this island? Have you forgotten about it? Okay, I did free thee. Underline this is important. Okay, he says, I was the one who released you from the torment, who released you from the torture that you were in. Now, to which Ariel replies, no, master, I have not forgotten. Prospero, thou dost and think it too much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run into the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost. He says that. Now see, salt deep means the ocean water, the salty water of the ocean, and sharp wind of the north means it's like northern wind. To do my business means to perform Prospero's work, and veins of the earth means the interior of the earth, the underground, and baked with frost means covered with frost. He says, you have certainly forgotten what I have done for you. Okay, otherwise why would you call it a burden? Why would you call why do you think it's a burden for you? When I ask you to trade means to walk upon the ocean. When I ask you to run after the northern wind. When I ask you to work underground, okay? And then when the earth is full of frost, when the earth is covered with frost, why? It should not be a burden to you if you had not forgotten. It's certain that you have forgotten. That is why you are considering it as a pain. When I ask you to go to take the form of water in the ocean, or when I ask you to take the form of the wind, okay, or when I ask you to work under the earth, okay, underground, in the interiors of the earth. Ariel, I do not, sir. I have not forgotten, sir. And I do not take it as a burden. I do not take it as a pain. So, Prospero, thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax? He is giving her a reminder. Now, who was Sycorax? Sycorax was the deceased witch mother to Caliban. Okay? So, I do not, sir. You are a liar. Thou liest means you lie. You are a liar. Malignant thing. Malignant means evil-minded creature. Hast thou forgot? Have you forgotten the foul witch Sycorax? Who with age and envy. Who with age and envy refers to jealousy. It also refers to evil mind, evil plans. Okay. Was grown into a hoop. That means a hoop is a large ring is known as a hoop. He says that, have you forgotten Sycorax? Okay, the witch who had grown double in size because of her old age and because of her bad nature, because of her evil nature, or because of jealousy. Have you forgotten her? Hast thou forgot her? Ariel, no, sir. Prospero, thou hast. You certainly have forgotten. Where was she born? Speak, tell me. Now, if you have not forgotten, tell me where Sycorax was born. To which Ariel says, sir, in Algiers. Now, where is Algiers? Algiers is the capital of Algeria. Okay, it is in North Africa. Alright, so now, who is Sycorax? Let me tell you who Sycorax is. Sycorax is a witch, a mother to Caliban. Okay, and then she was actually banished from Algeria. Okay, and then she had been sent to this island long ago. Alright, so he says that, so obviously there is a reference to Sycorax and Ariel. That is why he reminds Ariel if he has forgotten Sycorax. Remembering Sycorax itself means remembering the pitiful condition that he was at, okay, under Sycorax's service. Now remember that before serving Prospero, Ariel was a slave or was a servant to the witch, the deceased witch Sycorax. Alright, so this much for today. We will continue from line 265 in the next video. Please watch, do like and subscribe, and please give me an honest feedback. And this is actually for all those students who are having network issues, okay, who are not able to attend physical classes and also not able to attend virtual online classes. Okay, please, we are trying our best to reach out to you, to your bedrooms, to your living rooms, and to your drawing rooms, living rooms, or your drawing rooms, or to your study room. Please utilize it. I want you to study well. If there is any problem, once again, as I always do, please feel free to address me through WhatsApp, through phone calls, or also you can drop it in the comment section below. Thank you and have a good night.